Hello, it has been a while. The reason it has been a while is because I have been sick. In fact, I can't remember the last time I was so sick. I needed 2 courses of antibiotics. My lungs were creaking. And you did not need to hear me cough. So, I'm back. If I cough, please forgive. But anyway, it's nice to be back. I've been dying to do a painting. I've got something interesting in my brain. But let me show you what colours we're going to use today. So naturally, we're going to use the titanium white as the cell activator. The colours we're going to do today is Blue Lake, magenta kind of colour, and an actual purple rather than the ultramarine blue that I use. But I'm going to use 2 lots of bling. I've got copper as well as gold. But what I'm going to do, must not forget, also the Harbour Night. So what I want to do is kind of like a diptych on one canvas, if you like. So without further ado, I will adjust my camera angles and get started. Actually, before we really get started, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Mundy. This is Mundy Fox Art. If you're returning, hey, lovely to see you again. If you're new, hey, welcome. Now we'll adjust the camera. Right, so to get started, I will use the last of my house paint that I've got in this particular jar, or paint can I should say. It was quite difficult to open. It's been too long since I've done some painting, obviously. Anyway, we'll pour some of this on. Yes, this is what happens when you're in the middle of a Melbourne winter. And anyway, it's all right. We've survived. Right, so that's the pillow. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do some stripes, if you will, of the colours. Normally, as you know, I'm quite random with the colours that I use. But this time I thought, nope, I'm going to be much more precise, if you like. Right, so we've gone with the purple. I don't know why I say we, it's me. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the blue. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Bear with. That's a bit nasty. Okay, right. Now, the blue. Again, a little bit more precise than what I usually do. Magenta, it kind of looks like a little girl's kind of thing, but look, I'm just in the mood for doing something different today, so you'll just have to put up with it. All right, so now we've got this delightful magenta, making rude noises. Right, now for the gold. Quite a lot of bling because, you know, it's me. And last but not least, oh actually no, I've still got to do the Harbour Night or Paynes Gray, don't I? So all right, let's put that in here. That's pretty good. All right, and now to kind of divide the painting, I'm going to use this Paynes Gray or Harbour Night, really kind of like a dividing line, literally. All right, I think that will do. Right, now here's the tricky bit. What I want to do is I want to use my cell activator and I want to go in this direction at this end and that direction at the other. So yeah, let's see how we go. Right, I I may actually have to get some more paper towel. Bear with. I just have a suspicion that it's going to be potentially messy. All right, here we go. Of course it's messy, it's an acrylic pour. Actually, I'm just looking at these shapes. They kind of almost look like violins, don't they? But anyway, of course, that's going to change drastically once I put this cell activator on. Right, so swiping, it's a bit like a dating app, isn't it? Swiping left and swiping right. Actually, I might move this because I've missed that, which is a bit sad, but anyway, that's how it's turned out, and I don't want to do it again. But now I'm going to swipe in the opposite direction. Dating app part 2. I might get a better swipe this time because I've got a better angle. There we go. All right. Well, that's pretty interesting. Okay. Now to put on the gloves. Look, I've already got paint on my hands. Never mind. Okay, here we go. Now, I want to sort of, I don't want the line to be completely there all the time. I do want to see if I can hide it a little bit, but I do want the paint to start flowing before I start moving too much with that. It's not behaving as I thought it would, but anyway, here we go. We'll try again. All right, and now we'll go that way. It's got some very nice colours there that I don't want to lose too much. And oh look, let's twist it around, see what happens. I might cheat a bit and use the thumb and pull the paint on the edge here. All right, let's see what happens down this way. Surprisingly rainbowish, isn't it, really? All right, come on, move over. Right. And this last corner, okay, I think I've done all the corners, but I sort of want to move that definitive line just a little bit more. So I'm going to force the paint to move a bit more. Well, that's very interesting. I kind of like it, but it's very strange. It's a very unusual result today. But, you know, this is the joys of experimenting with acrylic pouring. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave it as usual. I will put it in front of a fan. That seems to be the quickest and best way to dry it. Because there is so much pillow underneath this, it'll be interesting to see what white bits pop through. But anyway, that is today's experiment. Bear with while I get rid of the gloves. And yeah, all right. I'll show you what it looks like when it's dry in a couple of days. Thanks for watching. So, as usual, the painting has been in front of a fan for a few days, and now it's done. And gosh, it's not quite how I expected it, but hey, these paintings never are. But there's some lovely cell work going on, and some of the pillow has popped through, which is good. It's surprisingly bright and colourful. Well, maybe not really surprising considering the wild colours that I used. The magenta has mostly disappeared except for this end corner. There's a few kind of solid bits like this bronze, and it looks like a black line, but as you know, it's Paynes Gray or Harbour Night, is quite solid in the middle of it all. But there it is in all its glory. I quite like it. I hope you do too. Please like, subscribe, share, all of that sort of stuff, and I'll see you next time.